To mention the fact that the mayor is not here. Dr. Hymath has an emergency patient. He's a dentist in our town, as you know. He definitely was planning on being here, but he gets these calls and runs away.
Put your mouth right into the microphone, please, Lou.
Talk into the microphone. I haven't been told that since I graduated from radio. A little about me. I'm a little self-conscious talking about me, but I was born and raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Attended the University of Minnesota, architectural engineering, minor in English. 4.5 years I did that until I discovered campus radio station. Then I decided what I wanted to do and not what my father wanted me to do. And I've been in media most of my life. I'm a journalist, and that sometimes runs in the face of partisan politics, but I'm now an elected official and I'm going to live with it. The last time I was here, 4 years ago, someone stood up and asked me a question. How can you call yourself a fiscal conservative when you work for CNN? I was one of the original anchors at CNN. I didn't quite understand the relevance of the question, but that gives me an opportunity here to toot my horn, and the horn of Councilman Joe Hornet and Councilwoman Mary Snyder, and the mayor, who can't be here to speak for himself. I'm very proud to work with these people, to have brought the town of Oro Valley from a $3 million deficit, which was handed to us when we first entered elective office, and we now today have a $1.7 million surplus. The first thing we did was get a new town manager. And he revitalized the town, and we did some structural work on the budget. We didn't scrape 10% off of this department, 5% off this. We took a whole vertical look at various programs. One I was deeply involved with was Coyote Run. Coyote Run had its transit funds swept away by the state of Arizona during the Great Recession, as we all know. Hit us all hard. And there was some talk that we wanted to get rid of Coyote Run, which we never did. Some of you may know that I worked on the Aging of America story, the Coming of Age story, for years. It's been 23 years now. So I, along with Councilman Steve Solomon at the time, went into the living rooms of the people who were scared to death we were going to take Coyote Run away. They were just scared to death. And it was about change. They were afraid of change, and I get that. We partnered. We partnered with the Regional Transportation Authority, and now, instead of being called Coyote Run, it's called Dial-A-Ride. It's the exact same thing, only the ridership has quadrupled. It's still got a ways to go. Transit systems, as you may know, are having trouble all over the country. We've solved ours temporarily with a guaranteed funding for our own Dial-A-Ride of up to 25 years. So, the recession hit us in other ways. The library, we fought a furious fight to turn the library over to the county, which we already paid the county over $1 million for its share of the library, but we were paying an extra $1 million just to call it the Oro Valley Public Library, which we still do, as a matter of fact. So you were paying over $2.5 million for a 1.3 million operation. So we saved the town half for the county put in that extra money, half we put in, $600,000 a year. We save that each year. This is how we got to a surplus, got out of trouble. And if you like the roads you drive on, as the mayor likes to say, and I'll speak for him here, the quality of the educational system, we're now building a second basis school, and the amount of open space we mandate from developers. We did all this coming from the $3 million deficit to the $1.7 million surplus, and all without a property tax. Everything else you're going to hear to the contrary is just political spin. And we're investing in the future now. The little bit of surplus that we're getting is allowing us to do certain things like build an aquatic facility, which is a new revenue enhancer in the future. It's we had a study done that projected a $2 million a year revenue enhancement for the town of Oro Valley. We're continuing to work on the founder's notion, no property tax. But we do need the revenue to maintain our services, our core services, water, parks, the transit, and gosh, yeah, I feel like Perry. Oops. Of course, public safety, of course. And we also are working on Naranja Park. After 18 years, that former gravel pit is now, which was voted down in '04 as a spot for our parks, is now being developed. We're putting in 2 multi-use fields, putting in 2 dog parks. And why? Because our demographics are changing in Oro Valley. It's a wonderful place to retire, but it's also a wonderful master plan community for young folks, and they're asking us for their families, what are we going to do? And we're helping them do that. Our glass is half full in Oro Valley. You're going to hear from those whose glass is half empty, but we rock, and it's only all the way up from here. I mean, it's just, the town is in great shape. And I thank you all for supporting the town in its climb, including the fact that you're becoming very vital here in Sun City, Oro Valley. I've been taking part with you in some of your programs, not the least of which is your fitness facility, which, as you may know, I've been heralding, not only here, but in some of the talks I'm doing around the country on vitalizing our aging communities. You got to get involved, you got to get fit, you got to eat right, you got to live longer, but you got to live better. Thank you all.